I have what I think is a good idea for an intro for this one. Really quick, we just say, "You fucked up, America," or "You did it, America."
I don't get it.
Because this episode's going to come out one day after the election.
Oh my god.
Hillary.
Yes, Josh.
As you know, the election was yesterday.
I do know that. I am hip to our Constitution. That's not right. I am hip to our democracy.
That's right. Well, congratulations, America.
Woohoo!
You managed to do it. You pulled it off.
We did it, guys. Good team effort. High fives all around.
And we'll just cut straight to the ending.
Yeah.
Way to go, America. You done fucked up.
You fucking ruined everything.
You ruined everything again.
I'd like to pretend I'm surprised.
But I'm
not
just
surprised.
disappointed.
I can't even be disappointed anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like the numbness is real. Mm-hmm. And just kind of, I can just nod to myself and be like, yep, saw this one coming.
All right.
Next time.
Is it weird that we were expecting the horrible and we have a lot more to say about it?
There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. Just a slim majority. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be 240 to 190 or whatever. No. I'll take 205 to 190.
I'll take it close enough for a recount. I don't care.
Exactly. We'll win some and we'll lose some of those recounts. Yeah. I'll take it, damn it.
Just something. Give us anything.
Anything. All right. So I'm ready to go.
Oh, that was a good idea.
Thanks. Welcome once again to Noah's Snark, where two former religious types and current snarks take a look at religious media on its own terms.
My name is Hillary.
And I am Josh, a.k.a. Row, fight the power!
I don't know.
That is a very strange joke that I made there.
Uh-huh.
Even tracing the thought process behind it makes zero sense.
Excellent. Well, I'm so glad you shared that with us.
That's just who I am. There is a process. Uh-huh. It's just so convoluted. I'm like, why am I bothering?
Great. Good joke.
It was actually really funny. When I recorded with Kat, she has heard the show. She knows what it's like. And when I introduced it, she just sat there quietly.
Yeah.
I was like, what is your name? Obviously, I managed to cut it. So
yeah.
But I was just
I guess if she hasn't done it like every week like we have for...
It's just funny. I assumed it was natural, but you're right.
Yeah.
I have a very different perspective now.
What do I do?
Yeah.
She did a great job.
It was great.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some pictures from her. I'm going to try to get some of her audio up on the Instagram or something. Some of the audio I recorded.
I saw a couple of y'all's pictures on there. They look great. Yeah.
So I'm going to get what I can and sort of talk about it. But while we're talking about a previous episode, Tribulation Trail, I want to point out one thing I did miss.
Okay.
Since it's hits and misses time.
It is.
I forgot to mention that it did cost $14.
$14 a head.
Yeah, to go.
Did that come with the shirt?
Nope, that was $22.
Okay, gotcha.
So $8 for the shirt, $14 to get in.
It's still a good price. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a little steep. That should have come with a hot dog.
But those production values.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, if somebody were using the ticket price to recoup their costs.
Right.
It's
recoup their costs and also probably raise money for their church or whatever.
Right.
So
That's
it makes sense.
Related.
Yeah. And what it should have been a donation thing, because some people would end up paying more.
That's true.
As a donation to the church. It would have been smarter business.
Maybe.
More people could have gone. They'd still be there to buy food and buy the shirts and buy whatever. And then people could make donations, and the donations can be more than 14.
You're right. You're probably right.
You didn't ask me though.
Yeah. I still would have probably given them a couple dollars because again we were in their backyard.
Right.
But
I would have given them. I would have given them money.
Right.
Maybe a tenner.
Right. But yeah, 14. It's not unreasonable. It was just a little steeper than one might expect.
Gotcha.
You're like, I'm gonna go to a church show. You're like, oh, $8? No.
How did it compare to the other, like price wise, to the other ones that you were looking into?
Oh, I don't know. I think the other ones were mostly cheaper, but I'm not confident enough to say that.
Right. We don't know their production value. So
and we don't know their production value.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
I can maybe get off.
We'll have to travel to Texas.
I could have gotten up if I wasn't so strapped for insurance hours. I could have worked it out this time.
No, you did good. You did the right move. And we got it sorted out.
I may still be able to have medicine. We'll see.
So, Hillary, let's talk about today.
Okay.
What are we doing?
We are doing a movie called Facing the Giants.
All right, Facing the Giants.
Right?
Yeah,
Facing the Giants, yeah.
It is a football movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is tangentially related to Thanksgiving because I associate football with Thanksgiving.
Totally, absolutely. Yeah. It's fallish.
We're trying to get in the holiday spirit. We're going in easy.
Easy
starting here, doing something else.
We may have to do an episode a day for Christmas.
What do you mean, just like for?
Because there's just so many.
Oh, I see. Just to get through them.
Yeah, there's just so many things that I don't know how we will decide what to do for the actual holidays.
I actually have plans for Christmas time. Yeah. And I'm kind of excited to not tell you about them, but know that I'm assuming
we're doing something Hanukkah related, right?
Oh, shit.
We have to do something Hanukkah related.
You've blown my mind right now.
Hot damn. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. But when's Hanukkah this year?
It's December 6th.
Oh.
It's early December.
Okay. I think I got you.
Yeah?
I think I got you.
Shiggity sweet.
Shiggity shiggity.
Do you already have like a movie or whatever?
Oh, I have a theme for Christmas time.
No, but like the Hanukkah one.
No, I don't, but I can find one.
Oh, we can, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
We can go on that
But
together.
if it's the 6th, it doesn't ruin my plans.
Okay, great.
And it does fit what we want to do.
Yeah, maybe we just do a bonus episode if there's something else that we really want to do.
Okay, so let's describe this football movie in one sentence.
Okay. Where did I pawn? I should have had that already pulled up. Do you have yours?
Yes.
Go.
If you turn to Jesus, literally everything in your life gets fixed. The football version.
Yes.
I said football.
Football.
Football. But it's that movie, but football.
No, you're right. I just put Remember the Titans minus racism plus Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So, do you have anything to say about this before we start going through it?
No, I don't think so.
Ooh, I have one thing I just found out today.
What?
The director, writer, main lead in this movie, Alex Kendrick, lives here.
Like, in your house?
Not here in my house, but in the same city as me, apparently.
What, really? Smyrna?
Smyrna.
Oh, I probably shouldn't tell everybody where you live.
It's fine, I live in Smyrna. So does Alex Kendrick. It's on Wikipedia. It's fine.
What? We should have had him on as a guest.
It's not too late.
Call him.
It probably will be by the time this is out.
I mean, it's too late for right now, this moment.
Right. Yeah, so that's the thing I learned about Alex Kendrick.
Sweet action.
So let's move on to our very first scene. It is a football game between Shiloh Christian Academy and someone else. Spoilers if you can't tell from that sentence structure, Shiloh is the team we're supposed to care about because they are the main team that the football movie is about. Coach Grant Taylor is on a 6-year losing streak, and one of his players refuses to listen to him, and he loses the game again, bringing an end to another losing season of football.
Yeah.
His future as a coach for a high school football team is in jeopardy. These are the stakes of this movie.
Yep.
Oh no, the coach might lose his job as a high school football coach.
I mean, he's got a lot going bad in his life.
That's
Losing the
true.
job would make it, like, devastating.
It's just such a strange thing to set up in your first scene. Like, he might be fired. He's a football coach in high school. Like, college coaches get paid.
Right.
Professional coaches get paid. High school, we know how much money he makes because they tell us in the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
You can lose this job. You can get another.
Honestly, it's just like, even hearing that you might get fired, you should probably look for another job anyway. You're not making any money.
Just like, go work at a goddamn Publix.
Yeah.
It'll make you as much money as he gets paid.
Probably get better benefits.
And you'll get benefits. Dramatic music plays over the credits in a football field. Oh, you're ready for some football!
No, I'm never ready for football, but it's fine.
Football's not my thing either.
I don't enjoy it.
In the next scene, Coach goes to his office and is told that his star player is transferring to another school to play football there instead. Basically because he's a bad team and apparently not a good coach either.
Right.
And the players who are good don't have a real opportunity to shine and have any chance of having an actual future in football.
Right, which is some kids' only way out, really.
Yeah, so why would you stay and play for this guy?
That's smart business moving. But by the way, did you notice in the title card that they did the shadow wrong?
Mm-mm.
It says, like, facing the Giants in big letters, and they have, like, a shadow falling on the field to make it look kind of 3D. But the shadow doesn't fall forward so that it's, like, upside down underneath it. It's literally just, like, the same title upright, so you can read it above and read it below in the shadow as well. So, completely illogical.
I'm gonna have to see that because
I paused it and laughed.
I'm gonna have to screenshot that and use it.
Such a big failure.
But the coach is upset because the star player is leaving, and he says, we pour all we can into these student players, and then in their senior year, they always transfer to a rival school. Again, it's an obvious choice, because you want to play football for a team that wins
Do better, and that won't happen anymore.
Right. The rest of his team questions him about the transfer, and they're also upset because they all consider Darren irreplaceable. But coach tries to motivate them, but they will work it out. Back at home, we begin to get an idea for how crappy his life is generally.
Yep.
His car battery has died again, and he and his very country wife...
Oh my god. The countryest.
They complain about how horrible everything is.
Yeah, their house is falling apart.
She can't get pregnant despite their 4 years of trying. The car is dying. Their house has a mystery odor and a mystery leak.
Yep.
Stove
is broken.
Darren's transferred. The stove's broken. The dryer only works half the time. And he's losing his hair. Which was, to be fair, kind of funny.
It was it's meant to be a little bit of a joke.
Yeah,
like, no kidding. No wonder I'm losing my hair.
Yeah, it was fair.
Yeah.
It was...
It's stressful. Even, like, listening to them say all that, I got stressed out.
Yeah. You need a new dryer, you need a new car.
Yeah, we're just like, everything happens at once. It's like, just one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what's the one thing that's going to push this over the edge?
Yeah.
And we find out.
If only there was some magical entity that could solve all of these problems.
If only.
One has to think.
Mm-hmm. Gotta go find that one of those genie lamps.
We now see a montage of the first football game of the season, and Coach loses this one again, 23-0.
Damn.
He's always disappointed, but he's not surprised, and once in his car, it won't even start up this time. His wife tells him, don't be embarrassed, it happens to everybody, as though the car is a really strange metaphor. Mm-hmm. But I guess, given how some people do in fact treat their cars, it's not that surprising.
Yeah.
To do it happens to every guy, it's fine. He exits the car to go find some jumper cables he can borrow. For her part, the wife is actually secretly embarrassed by him, and she slinks down into the car so that she's not visible inside.
Like, he can't see that.
Well, no one else will see it.
She talks him into going out there and asking for help and not being embarrassed by it, and then she hides. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like her.
But she doesn't want anybody to see her with her non-operative husband, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly.
It's just not working.
She can't get pregnant, she can't get the car going.
But when they're back home, they do at least address it, where she was like, I wasn't that embarrassed. He's like, why did you disappear? But it was a dick move.
Yeah, totally.
But he was also, I confess, slightly cute.
No.
Like, the face she was making was kind of funny.
Okay.
She was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
After confronting her about her embarrassment, they also talk about their financial and baby problems. And her doctor visit has determined that she's going to be just fine. And the coach is afraid of getting checked out himself because all of the failure of baby making would fall on him at that point. And he doesn't want one more thing to go wrong.
Right. Find out he's a failure for another reason.
Right. This is when they tell us how much money they make. He makes $24,000 a year.
Less than us, or less than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think less than me.
Yeah, should be.
As a high school football coach, which isn't surprising. I'm just saying, like, when your stakes are losing your very poorly paying job.
The little bit of income you have.
It's weird to be like, I can't find anything else, but you can find literally anything else.
I mean, I don't know, man. The economy.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not great.
Grant. But I don't know. He's got to have some... Working in a decent retail environment will get you more than that. Like I said, a Publix.
Go be a manager somewhere.
A Publix will do that. They'll pay you that. They'll pay you more than that. And you'll get, their profit sharing or their stock options or I don't know, whatever.
I don't know. 401k?
Yeah.
Something.
Whatever. The wife also works and she makes $6,000 a year.
Yeah, might as well not work for that.
I was thinking, why couldn't you just stay home? She works in a flower shop.
Oh, that's right.
But it's like, how often?
Yeah, is it like a once-a-week gig?
Yeah. In which case, you could easily find other work.
Again, you guys have a way out.
I'm not saying it would be comfortable, but if you just work twice as much, you can make $12,000. That's a lot more money.
Yeah, or have a second job if that one's not paying so much. Yeah. I love they have the kid conversation right after naming all the things they can't afford.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
The wife gives him a sappy speech about how she wants kids, and apparently only your own natural-born children are capable of playing in the backyard and running into your bed during a storm and making loud pitter-patter sounds on Christmas Day.
Oh, this sounds terrible.
It does sound terrible, but I was mostly concerned at this point with, we just can't have kids. Like, you can easily go grab a kid.
I mean,
like, hey,
adoption is as expensive as IVF in some respects.
That's true, but if you're so desperate for a kid, just go get one. Like, I know you can't afford it, and that's why maybe you shouldn't be having kids anyway.
Yep.
But if you are in a position to have children, you don't need to insist on your own.
Be foster parents.
Right.
Yeah, for a little while.
Foster's great.
And adopt somebody.
It's I don't know. I don't think it's that complicated. I get the appeal of having your own children.
Right. Some people have that biological need. I don't relate to it.
Yeah, this is a perspective I just can't understand.
I understand you, because I also do not understand it.
But even if, like, sometimes you have a biological need and it doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
Go get a kid. If you really want one.
You may be oversimplifying it.
I am oversimplifying it, but I'm not oversimplifying the thought.
They're acting like this is like a dead end, and they're not. Yeah, they're not really looking into alternatives.
Right. I'm not claiming adoption is super smooth and easy process.
Right.
I am claiming that if you can't have your own kids,
try
it's
something
a
else.
simple sidestep.
Right. At least research it.
Right. Instead of just insisting that you have to give birth to your own.
Right.
No, you don't.
No.
No, you don't.
It's true.
Except it's free, so I guess if you don't have any money.
Free-ish.
Free-ish.
Doctor
It's free
visits,
to do.
man.
It's free to do. It's incredibly expensive to actually
She can
go
barely
through.
afford to go to the doctor to get checked for these things. And she thinks they can afford everything that's going to go into, even when she gets pregnant, like the hospital visits, the constant doctor visits, the medicine, the whatever.
The actual birth.
Then raising a kid for 18 years. Whatever. I don't understand people.
But the sappy speech convinces the coach that he needs to go get his junk checked out. So he's going to do that. Back in school, we learned that 2 of the football players are big dummies who score really poorly on their latest test, and then they earn detention for their antics. Mm-hmm. It's literally one guy gets a 55, the other guy gets a 57. He's like, hey bro, look, 57. Some of the humor in this movie works.
Yeah.
A lot of it doesn't, but some of it does.
I think some of it does, yeah.
Yeah. Coach goes to the dick doctor, but he's being understandably cagey about why. And his assistant coaches are there, and they're like, what are you going to the doctor for? He's like, I'm going to the doctor. And they're like, what's for?
I like his assistant coaches. I thought they were fun.
And then when he leaves, they talk about it's obviously the hair doctor.
Yeah.
Because he's losing his hair.
Right.
And then they have a conversation about how black guys look great with no hair, whereas white guys don't.
Yeah. One's black, one's white, for the record.
Right.
Yeah.
That is important context.
Yes.
I forgot. And the black guy in this scenario is bald.
Yes.
So it was part of the conversation. We now meet David, and he has moved from Athens. He is a good soccer player. But obviously the new school he's going to, Shiloh Christian Academy, has no soccer team. So his dad, who is incredibly old, it appears.
He does seem too older.
I literally at first wrote dad/grandpa because I wasn't sure which one he was.
Yeah, there's something about him that makes me uncomfortable. It's not the wheelchair.
It's not the wheelchair.
I'm not that terrible.
No, I'm with you.
There's something off-putting about him. Because he has like a weirdly like a puckish, boyish face, but also an old man.
That's it.
Yeah, he seems unnatural.
He's got Benjamin Button something.
Yeah. I don't know.
But he convinces David, the soccer player, to go try out for football because he can kick a ball. Therefore, he could be a kicker.
Yeah.
David is,
I was gonna say I do appreciate his dad's eternal optimism.
His dad is eternally optimistic. Very religious. Very everything's in God's hands. It's going to be great.
Right.
Except, of course, this is a movie about how that's going to be validated, so you don't have to worry so much.
Right, but also he does make good points. It's not just about, like, God will take care of it, don't do anything. But he's pretty logical about...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, he tells you also believe in yourself and, like, try.
Yeah.
Don't be a big
It's like,
puss.
you're already not on the team. You can't be any less on the team. I love that. Kids, like, he's like, that's fear talking. Because his kid's like, I don't know, what if I don't make it, blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, you can't, like, you're already not there. So, you can't get further from the team. You might as well try.
Right.
I'm like, good job, Dad. That's great advice.
Yeah, I've said it to people too.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, especially people who are shy about talking to, like, the opposite sex or whatever they're into.
Right.
Like, if you want to talk to her and she wants to, just talk to her.
Yeah.
Like, you're already not talking to her.
You can't get less.
How does your situation improve by being
coupled off? Yeah, you can't be less of a couple. You're not a couple.
Right. So it's, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and I get it intellectually, but as somebody also who is has a hard time with like
It's easy to say.
fear of failure,
Right.
in general.
It's very easy to say. It's
relatable.
It's very hard to actually do.
Right.
But sometimes
It's something we're all trying to learn.
But back on the field, David tries to try out for the team, while one of the assistant coaches is approached by one of the team dads, that's what I'm going to call him.
Yeah, team dad.
About replacing the coach, because he's obviously on a 6-year losing streak. He just lost the first game of the season, and they're not feeling confident that he's going to get him through this.
Right, and it's a conversation worth having, but it doesn't need to be shady, like around the corner in the shadows.
Right.
Yeah.
They're acting like,
underneath his nose.
Don't say nothing. Like, that's what assistant coaches are for, to replace you if something happens.
Now you're just being, like, weird and gossipy.
Right. So while that was happening, David was learning how to kick a football. It took him a little practice, but he did eventually manage to kick a ball straight, mostly. And after practice, we see that there's an older gent who shows up in the hallway, and he prays. And
do you think he was blind at first? I thought he was blind.
Oh, absolutely. He was grabbing the lockers, like he was using them for guidance.
Yeah. His head was down. So I thought he was just a blind guy that occasionally walks up and down their hallway. I'm like, they seem okay with this, but it seems creepy to me.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, it's a high school. Technically, it's public. You can go. It's like,
I don't think, I don't know. Has anybody done any background checked him?
Yeah. I don't actually know what the rules on schools are anymore.
I don't think so. You can just walk into a high school.
We probably shouldn't just let anybody in there anymore.
Definitely not.
I don't know. This is 2006.
They knew the guy by name. Like, they know who he is.
Yeah, they know who he is, and he seems fine.
He's, a town person. He's not blind and being led by lockers. It turns out he is praying over the lockers.
Yeah, the coach is largely supportive of his efforts. He says, we could use the prayer. That's fine.
Yeah.
After that, they agree to let David on the team because he does show promise as a kicker. And then we get to another game, and that ends in a miserable failure. And coach is freaking out now. He mad.
Yep.
He says,
it's embarrassing watching coaches react like that. Especially in, like, a high school scenario.
Like, I get that you're passionate, but also...
Yeah, screaming and throwing things like an infant? Come on, man.
Yeah, you're an adult man, and you're playing a game.
Yeah. And you're not even playing it.
Right. And in high school, it is literally a game. No one's getting paid here.
Right.
Except for you.
I understand it's a potential for a future. At least scholarships and stuff, which is big. That's make or break, but...
It's also up to the players to decide to do that.
It's true, also.
But
doesn't mean you should throw your clipboard.
That's what I mean. Like, no one here... None of the kids, at least... have anything really on the line.
Right.
In a direct, immediate sense, at least.
Right.
Like, in an NFL locker room, I could see it because everyone's getting paid.
And they got their contract, and they can,
And it depends on how good they do.
There's only so long before your brain explodes inside your skull and you murder everybody.
Right, you gotta do well right away. But in a high school setting, they're just high school kids, man. Half these kids aren't even interested in football that much. So you need to calm all the way down and stop yelling at children.
This is just after-school activities.
Really?
Yeah.
But he says, you can't win games unless you play together as a team. You can't learn plays while you're sitting in detention. Those are the two kids who got detention earlier.
Right.
And you can't play well if you don't care about what's happening on the field. And back at home, David confirms that most of what the coach said is true. He says this to his dad. He's like, yeah, he was mostly right. And he's also kind of glad that he didn't play because he would have just messed it up anyway.
Right. He's a defeatist.
Right. He asks his dad why he was made by God so small and weak, which is a really fucking weird thing to say.
It's especially weird to say to your crippled father.
Yeah.
But also, he's not that small. Like, he looks like a normal teenager.
He's a normal-sized guy.
Yeah.
And then his dad makes an even weirder answer to show how mighty God is.
Yeah. Wait, he made you weak so he feels better about himself? That's
crazy.
Up.
That's insane.
Your God created you weak so that he felt stronger and you would know how strong he is. I'm like, well, what about the strong guys?
Yeah. And
did God make the strong guys for the same reason?
And the thing about David is, again, he's not that small.
No.
He's probably not that weak. He's a soccer player. He's just not big like a football player.
Right.
Because he's a soccer player.
Yeah.
Those are different things. And they have different body types, typically.
Yeah.
You're still athletic. You're still probably pretty strong.
Right.
And different muscles.
You're also capable of being stronger.
Yeah, you can easily, but you can get stronger.
You don't have some, like, muscular disorder.
Right. Like your dad might.
Right.
Which is another reason this is, to say to your dad who's in a wheelchair.
Complain about your body in front of your crippled dad.
But it's just such a goofy thing to say. Like, we know his legs are probably really strong. He's probably in really good shape.
Also,
and he can run.
If he joins the football team, he can do their workouts with them.
Right. And he can get bulkier if he wants to.
If he wants, yeah.
It's just goofy. But
He looks fine.
Apparently,
Don't
God
body
makes...
shame yourself.
Yeah, apparently if you're small of size and stature and you're weak in body strength, just know that that's to show how mighty God is.
Okay.
And if you're big, it's the same thing, I guess.
So, yeah.
It's to show how weak Satan is.
Sure.
That's what it is. And in some sort of incredibly strange metaphor that I still don't understand, David's dad, again, in a wheelchair, tries to reach up on the top of some cabinet or something to try to clean it. I guess they were cleaning this room.
Yeah.
And David comes in to find his dad almost falling over and hurting himself.
Because his legs don't work, and he's trying to stand on them anyway.
And he almost falls to the ground for his trouble, and in his own words, he says, I guess I got a little too ambitious. I was just trying to take a swing at it. And this never comes back. I don't know what they're going for here.
It does kind of come back.
The idea of trying comes back.
Yeah.
But this is not the way.
But no, then he stands later, remember? For his son at the game.
Oh. Is think that's what it was?
I think so. Because I think it was a mixture of, he was trying to kind of make a point that's like, just because I think this might not work doesn't mean I shouldn't try. But it was a pretty lame thing to try.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
and he blames his son. He's like, you missed a spot, so I thought I'd go for it. Or something like that. I'm like, he wasn't even working on your side of the cabinet.
Like, if they had ever said this line again, it would make more sense.
Right.
If at the end of the movie, David does something he shouldn't be able to do, and he's like, I guess I got a little too ambitious. I was just trying to take a swing at it, and he had succeeded.
Right.
That would make this make sense.
You're right.
They don't do that, so it doesn't make sense.
They don't do a callback in a
All they do is make his dad look weirdly stubborn about the fact that he can't stand up very well.
Right.
So
and also,
that later he
stress your fucking son out. Any day now, your dad could just go toppling over because he tried to swing for the fences.
And personally, I think it would have meant more if the dad stood up at the end if we hadn't seen him do it already.
Yeah.
Like, we know he's capable for at least a few seconds. Yeah. It's just a few seconds more.
It's true.
Whereas if he was doing that for the first time, we'd be like, oh shit, he's like, believes in him.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's whatever. Stupid metaphor sometimes.
No, I agree.
So back at the doctor, Coach finds out that his dick don't quite do what the dick do.
No.
He has essentially two options. Expensive in vitro or expensive adoption. Sad music time in his office.
Yeah, he is depressed.
He's real sad, and he's late at work, or staying late at work, and he overhears another conversation by some of the guys about replacing him. And it's a devastating turn of events. Aren't you devastated? Shocked.
Not shocked. No. But, I felt for him.
No.
Like, knowing, like, what it feels like to have, like, everything going wrong, and you don't see any way out, and it's just... Yeah.
My everyday is a nightmare. I get it.
Yeah. I have varying degrees. Mm-hmm. I haven't felt that low in a long time because I'm medicated.
No. I'm not saying his life is going great. He needs to get over it.
Right.
I'm saying it's just, especially because he's been losing for 6 years. It can't be that shocking.
Oh, that specifically? Absolutely not.
Because this is, for some reason, set up as the straw that broke the... How?
Yeah.
You should have been fired.
Right.
A long time ago.
You're not doing
your job. The fact that you're in your 7th season and you're still losing. It's
you're being
amazing.
Paid pennies to do a poor job.
Right. The fact that you're getting paid to do this job at all is amazing at this point. So it's a weird thing that we're supposed to accept is like, oh, this is the worst thing that could happen. On top of everything else, I'm losing my football coach job. It's like getting kicked off your little league team. It sucks, yeah. Yeah. But it's not the worst thing that's happening.
Yeah, I guess, but it's like from the outside, definitely. From the inside, it just feels like one more kick while you're down.
Yeah, I get that. He goes home, and he opens up to his wife about what a failure he is. He can't win, he can't have kids, he can't make decent money, he can't keep his hair, he can't do nothing. They don't mention the hair this time. This is more serious.
Yeah.
But it's true.
It's a lot more about sperm.
Right. But basically, everyone's sad, everyone cries, and we're just supposed to feel really down on this guy. But we're 35 minutes into the movie now, so it's about time that we put our trust in the Lord. So Coach does that, and it looks like we found that magic into that can make everything better already. But we go to another game, we see another loss, and this time David missed his first field goal attempt. David says to his dad that he doesn't know why he was even let on the team. He can't even kick a ball straight.
He hates himself.
He loathes himself. David is harder on himself than possibly anyone will ever be.
Yeah, poor David. I just want to pat him on the back.
But his dad tells him that his actions will always follow his beliefs, and not being good at something doesn't mean you shouldn't try. And I guess that was the message I took it as. It was just one of those dad things to say, but it seemed to have worked
Yeah,
mostly.
he's pretty consistent about it. It's
Yeah.
always the same message. Just trying to gently beat it into his son's head that it's okay to fail. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just trying, and you can't get better unless you do it.
Yeah. While this is happening, Coach catches one of his assistant coaches and more of the team dads talking about replacing him. And he confronts them this time. And he tells the assistant that he needs to choose a side and stand on it rather than this wishy-washy, are you replacing me or are you not? thing.
Right, secret rendezvous under
Right.
the bleachers.
Like, if you're going to stay as an assistant, do that. If you're going to take my place, do that. But choose one.
Yeah,
Which I'm a fan of.
me too.
I like,
I thought he handled that well.
yeah, take a stand. Either way.
Yeah.
I have a lot more respect for someone who's willing to stand up for their position, even if they're wrong, than someone who tries to straddle the fence and be wrong either way.
Exactly. Like an Aaron Burr.
Yeah. Look at that.
Fuck Aaron Burr.
He was there. But is he the one that got shot?
No, he's the one who shot Alexander Hamilton. But he was the one who never really took a side or a stance for or
Okay.
against, because he was a politician and he was doing the politician thing where he's like, make sure you don't let anybody know how you really feel.
Is Aaron Burr the one that died then? Oh, I'm thinking of
Hamilton.
Andrew Jackson,
Yeah, no,
Okay.
you're thinking of Andrew Jackson.
who murdered a guy.
Aaron Burr was the one who who did the standoff with Hamilton. What's
Okay.
it called when they walk away from each other?
A duel.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
He dueled Hamilton, and Hamilton lost.
Gotcha. This is, I'm assuming, all told in Hamilton, the musical?
Obviously.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
thought,
Lin-Manuel Miranda, for bringing that back to me. I did once know the whole story, and now I do again.
So this is where the coach has a conversation with the older guy who prays in the hallways sometimes. And this motivates him that he needs to come up with a new team philosophy, which applies to all of life, not just football. So he goes to his Bible, he figures it out, and he shows it to his wife, and that's when she says, this isn't just football, Rose. He's like, no.
Yeah. It's great, isn't it?
It's great. So we're now back in the locker room, and he tells the team that he doesn't want their main goal to be about winning football games anymore. Because winning games is too small a goal to live for, and life isn't about how we get the glory and the attention that comes with winning. Jesus said, the most important thing you can do in life is to love God with everything you are and love others as yourself. And if they can't do that, they're wasting their time, and football is meaningless in comparison to that. If you're going to be religious, it's fair.
Yeah.
Football is meaningless in comparison to most things.
I was
So,
going to say, take Jesus out of this, and it's still accurate.
it's still accurate.
Yeah. Chill your heels.
Yeah, it's a game.
Football's not the end all be all.
Yeah, have fun with games, but, maybe work on some other stuff in your life.
Yeah, yeah.
If football's interfering with anything in your life, you need to stop the football a little bit.
Right.
Just tone it down.
Priorities.
Priorities. Their football gaming can be a tool they can use to honor God, but it's not just on the field. They have to honor Him in their relationships, the classroom, at home, everything and everywhere. And Coach wants God to bless this team so much that people talk about what happened here. But for that to happen, they need to honor Him, capital Him, in every way and every circumstance. And he asks them what they're living for, and resolves to give God everything He's got and wants to know if they'll join Him. And we don't witness any pushback right away, at least.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, this would be a troubling speech if it weren't for it being a Christian school.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
Was this a public school? We'd be like, oh,
If this
this
is public,
guy.
like, oh, you are not. Yep, you are fired.
You're so fired.
You're very
You were
fired.
already on thin ice.
But I mean, I like this point. I like this strategy.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say about it? Oh, I like that he mentions the whole winning or losing.
Mm-hmm.
You praise God whether you win or you lose or whatever, which I just see as not valuing winning a game as the most important thing. Yeah.
Because if you're going to...
It's an integrity. It's integrity, and it's good sportsmanship, and and putting things in perspective.
Right. If you're going to be a religious guy and you're going to play football, this would be the way I would think you would want to do it.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of your religion.
Yeah.
Is the worshiping God thing. So if you lose, you're just like, oh, thanks, man. Too bad it didn't work for us this time, but thanks, man.
Yeah,
You're the best. Big G.
my tennis team's motto was win without bragging, lose without excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of in that same vein.
I try to live my life like that.
Me too.
It doesn't always work.
No, I'm very good at things. I need to tell people about it.
I played beer pong last night, and I did do a little shit talking, but it was mostly 'cause
Oh,
it was
I
funny.
love shit talking and beer pong and pool for that matter.
We did win 2 in a row.
I love beer pong.
Once they're out on the field, one of the guys, Brock, who has already given up on winning the next game, he pushes back a little bit on the coach. He's being really preachy. And he eventually gets put through a training exercise, but blindfolded. Because this Brock guy is apparently one of the leaders of the team.
Yeah.
And coach is trying to demonstrate a point. So he has Brock promise him that he's not going to quit until he's given everything he's got. He's got nothing left. And they do this exercise where one of the other guys climbs on your back.
Yeah.
And then you hunch up on your arms and legs.
Yeah.
And you crawl across the field.
Yeah, it looks fucking painful.
It looks very painful. And it's part of a normal exercise, but they do about 10 yards, 30 feet.
Right.
Now he's going to put this blindfold on. He wants him to go as far as he can until he's literally cannot anymore.
Yeah, literally he's like, I think they normally go to 10 or 20. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I want you to go to 50. He's like, I can't go to 50. And he's like, I think you can.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, because even when he was saying, like, I'm going to do my best, I think he said 30. He's like, I can probably do 30.
Right.
He's like, I don't want you to do 30, I want you to do 50.
Right.
And so that's when he put the blindfold on. It's like, we're going to go until you cannot go.
Right.
He's like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
So this other guy bunches up on his back, and
we see his boxer shorts, because they didn't prepare for this. They should have had him in pants.
And the rest of the team and the coaches even get inspired by it, because we watch this, I think, generally effective scene of this kid trying to crawl over the field, and the coach is telling him, let's keep going, keep going, keep going.
Yeah. Aside from the screaming that got a little irritating.
Yeah, it can get irritating, but
it was effective.
Yeah, you could see how it might be actually...
And a little inspiring.
Right.
Yeah.
Eventually he gets to a certain point in the field where people literally start getting up watching. So they're like, holy shit.
They stop cheering for him and are just like staring. Yeah.
Right. And that's when we know that he's gotten, further than we expected.
Right.
And then, even though he is completely and utterly spent by the time he's done, he does get across the whole field.
He's in the end zone.
He got 3 times further than he expected.
Right.
Twice as far as the coach wanted. Yeah. He got all the way across, which is, again, this looks very hard, so I assume that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. It also could be misconstrued or construed as torture.
It could.
This is like, I kept having those flashes of like the news segments where they're talking about the most recent kid that died on the football field because the coach wouldn't give him water or something. He's like, you could do this without water.
Yeah, and we haven't seen any of that in this movie.
No.
Nice.
But I was thinking that, like, if he actually injures himself or something or passes out, like, how do you explain this one? How do you explain this to mom? But at the same time, it was effective and it was inspirational.
Right. And the point of it was, he's put the blindfold on him because he said he didn't want him to quit when he knew he'd made it a certain distance.
Right.
So the point is, if you actually give it your all, you will do significantly better than even you would expect.
Right. You're capable of a lot more than you think you are.
Right. And so if you just don't quit, you can succeed.
Yeah.
And again, good message, I think.
Yeah.
Now the coach tries to convince one of the other boys to respect his father because God.
We've already seen that kid back talking to his dad.
Right. When the kid points out that religion really isn't his thing, the coach taunts him with, maybe you don't want to accept it because it'll change your life.
Sure.
Which is a very common trope used amongst the apologetics crowd. I hate it then, I hate it now. Mm-hmm. It's stupid. Also, why would I want to change my life? My life is awesome.
If you like your life.
Right. Well, it'll change your life, but well, my life is great.
I'm set.
But even if your life isn't great, that's not the reason you don't want Jesus in your life.
Right.
It's just one of those things you tell yourself, because you're like, people just reject my...
Were you scared it'll work too well?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
People just reject my ideas because they're too afraid it'll be great. That's always why people turn stuff down. They're like, oh, that sounds really fucking good. I don't want it.
Right. Like, the only reason you would be atheist is if your mom died.
Exactly. Why else would you not believe this is a thing? It's such a goofy excuse you have to tell yourself.
Right.
Like, some people just don't believe what you believe. It's fine.
It's just added to the trope pile.
Like, imagine I go to somebody religious, and for some reason we're talking about this, and I say, maybe you haven't stopped believing because it'll change your life.
That's actually the only way to respond. Yeah. Like, why haven't you thought about how my way could change your life?
Right.
Same thing.
Like, what are you talking about? Okay. David the kicker is coached through being such a defeatist. It's just, at this point we're getting sort of like little brief vignettes of what's happening, because that happens, and then a few minutes later, the students have split up into little prayer groups after the kid who was told to respect his dad, was finally brought to Jesus through the power of whatever.
Yeah.
This is not movie time a few minutes. This is probably a few weeks or a few days later.
Right.
But in our time, this all sort of happens
pretty quickly.
They do split it up so it's not, like, confusing.
Right.
It's little tiny bits of things that don't ultimately matter.
Right. It's just kind of drilling a point home, but I'm grateful that they don't harp on anything for too long.
They're not showing
they
us
actually edit it pretty well.
Yeah, they're not showing us 10-minute scenes of shit we don't care about.
Exactly.
It's little bits of stuff that's supposed to show how this new team philosophy is changing their lives.
Right. It's like basically kind of a montage type of a situation, like in everybody, like peeking into everybody's lives and how this whole new way of looking at things is changing everyone for the better.
Right. The guy who was told to respect his dad now wants to go to apologize to his dad.
Yeah.
And so they show up at his place of work, and he goes into his office and he says, "From now on, I'm going to respect your authority because you're my dad," and something like that, and Jesus this, and whatever.
His dad looks like if Mr. Incredible was an investment banker.
100%. It's hilarious. His dad also is shook.
Yeah.
He just sits there like, oh.
And I kind of like that scene, actually.
No.
Yeah.
I think we can say overall that this is possibly the most competent movie we've seen.
I really enjoyed it. For someone who doesn't care for Christian things or football, I really enjoyed this.
Okay.
I feel like I'm saying that too early, but...
No. I found it a little boring because it's a football Christian movie.
Right.
But I can't really point out anything and be like, this is stupid and ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
there are elements.
It's like, and football is not a favorite sport of mine, but at the same time, it's easy to get kind of caught up in the, in the will they, won't they, like just like the energy of sports in general. Yeah. Like, and it doesn't matter what, if I don't know anything about a sport, if I'm watching like a championship team doing something and like getting all the energy from the fans and all that, it's hard not to get kind of really wrapped up in it.
Yeah, I'm with you. So, yeah, you can say, we said it a little early, but this movie's not bad.
Yeah.
I would even wager to say it's good.
Yeah, actually, I think it is.
Yeah. Okay, so the dad got shocked by this kid coming around and deciding to respect him again. And now we're going to the locker room for their next big game. The first one since their new approach to Jesus in football. The coach gives them a motivational speech and tells them to be humble but confident, and that their experiences over the last week are about to be put out onto the field. And oh my god, they win! What a shock! We're shocked! And then we go to school, and the two football players who were scoring 50s on their tests are now getting hundreds.
Yeah, Jesus made them smart.
And coach is giving Bible lessons to teach the kids how to better football. They win another game. We see more practice. They get another win. The coach's car goes missing, and he finds a note on a new truck instead, and it says that the title is inside, and it's in his name, and holy shit, that's a come up.
I got choked up. Because he does this emotional scene really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like
the guy's a good actor.
He's a good actor, and he responded exactly how I would respond, which is kind of like just speechlessness, just like standing and staring and like not really knowing what to do, and then crying a little bit.
Yeah, he's completely overwhelmed.
Yeah, as one would be.
Definitely. That's a brand new truck.
Brand new truck.
To, I think, very few people's surprise, it was the dad of the kid who decided to respect him and come around to Jesus who decided to get him this truck.
Right, because he found, like, after his son came to visit him, he looks out the window and sees that his son is going to the coach's car, and the coach was, like, patting him on the back. And so the dad figured out that it was the coach trying to, helping him and his family, which is great.
Yeah, and then the dad pays him back with a brand new car.
Yeah, because he has, his hair is gelled back, so you know he's rich.
Exactly. I was actually thinking you could tell right away that he was a rich guy.
Yeah,
because of the way he looks.
He wears a suit.
He wears a suit.
Yeah,
he has gelled back hair.
He has a strong nose and jawline, and his hair's always greased back.
Yep, definitely rich guy.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be more evil because of the hair grease, but he turned out to be okay.
Yeah. And him and his son are watching the coach get his new car.
Yeah, from around the corner. It's real cute.
And they promise to never say a word to anybody.
Yeah, he made his kid promise not to, like, that's a secret they're going to keep. I think that's really cute and really sweet. Anonymous fucking free car.
Yeah. So we get more montage, we get more football, we get more winning. He goes on to tell his wife that he's got a raise and they're going to go out on a nice date. And guess what? More football.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little football montages. I'm glad they don't harp on them too much.
Right.
Really, the only game we see is the final one.
Now, again, with competent editing,
Yeah.
we're not watching anything in real time.
Also,
Thank God.
while I wasn't watching like very closely,
Yeah.
I didn't see them totally screw up how football works.
I don't know all the rules, but it looks like they were actually playing a real game that they were filming.
Like I said, nothing stood out to me as like, that's not how that works.
Right.
I know how football works well enough that I would be able to see that.
Right.
And I have not yet seen a Christian movie that got sports correct.
Right.
So this was a nice...
It really seemed real. It's like watching any major, like, feature film about football.
Yeah, and I wasn't taking detailed notes, so I couldn't say. If someone sees one, don't email me. I don't care.
Oh, but, no, I do not care.
But it wasn't egregiously wrong.
Yeah, if you watch this movie, you're like, they're offsides half the time.
Exactly.
We'll never understand what that means.
So, yeah, the coach has gotten a raise. Instead of getting fired, he's taking his wife out for a nice day. And then we cut to find out that they are now playing in the playoffs against the undefeated number 1 team. And this is their first time in the playoffs in 6 years. But they actually come up short this time.
They do.
They lose to this number 1 team.
So we get to finally witness how they handle a loss. Because they won everything up until this point after, switching their strategy.
Right. And the players and everybody's initially dejected. But they do ultimately decide to follow through on their promise and praise God for their losses too.
Yep.
So now they're out of the playoffs, and it's a setback, but I think it's a good sign for the next year.
It is.
So they're going to come back next year, they're going to hopefully do even better. But the movie's not over yet, so we have to see what happens next. More pointless banter happens. The 2 assistant coaches are giving the real coach a hard time about... It's a bunch of puns, I guess?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
it's a bit like a Who's on First routine.
It is. It's not great, but I do enjoy their energy.
Yeah. But the coach gets a phone call, and they tell him some stellar news. The number 1 team that they just lost to has actually been disqualified because they were using ineligible 19-year-old players, which is cheating.
Yep.
And so they are kicked out. And so Shiloh Christian Academy is considered the winners of the game.
By default, they're going to the next phase.
So they get to stay in the playoffs. They still have to beat the other playoff teams, so it's not as though they just get a pass to the final.
Right.
But they get to stay in the game for now.
Yeah. Good on them. It's very exciting.
Right. So in the next game, David, our kicker, actually wins his first game, at least his first game winning, with a field goal. Mm-hmm. So he's back in business now. Also, the coach's wife is pregnant. I mean, what really happens is she's all sick and she doesn't know what's going on, and we've seen...
Whenever a woman gets, like, pukey, and that, like, if she gets pukey in the morning, and it's like, what's wrong with me? You know exactly what's wrong with her.
Right, but then they try to fake us out because she goes to the doctor, and she's really embarrassed to be there because she's been so many times, because she's really been hoping to get pregnant, and even the nurses feel bad for her.
Right.
Like, oh, she's back. This is going to be so disappointing.
This is so hard.
And then she gets the news that she is not actually pregnant.
Right.
She walks out. She's sad.
Very
she cries
upset.
in the parking lot.
Yeah.
She prays a little bit. Says, it's okay. I still love you, Jesus.
Yep.
And as she starts to drive away, the nurse runs out with new information. Apparently she got the wrong chart or something.
Yeah, looks like the wrong chart.
Yeah, and so she runs out there and she tells her, holy shit, you're actually pregnant. It's amazing.
I know, it's actually really cute because the nurse is like, finally some good news. Yeah. Oh, thank God.
We don't hear it, but you can definitely see, and it's, again,
Right.
it's an effective thing where
It
they don't
is.
actually have to tell you, they don't treat the audience like you're an idiot.
Exactly.
Which is really nice.
It is really nice.
Because so much of what we do on the show is treating the audience like you're an idiot.
Exactly. And we are not idiots.
Yeah, there was a half hour left in this movie at this point, and I confess to being pretty bored.
Yeah.
But it's not because the movie is bad. We've already said it's good. It's just that it's really paint by numbers.
You're right.
You know, like everything that happens.
It's not changing the script.
Right. Everything that happens is so obvious. The closest they got to a swerve was losing the playoff and then getting put in because of the cheating.
Right.
That's about it.
The big
Twist.
Thank you.
You're right.
Maybe I am a little
You're
hungover.
hungover. Okay, but ultimately the team makes it to the championship game. They get to the other 2 playoff teams. They're in the actual finals of the state. Now this is where we find out the new team name, the other team name.
The big guys.
What is it?
The Giants.
Oh, they're facing the Giants.
They're literally facing the Giants, Josh.
Now, no one actually says it, so that's nice.
I know. I was waiting for it, though.
Right, but they are, in fact...
We're facing the Giants! I was waiting for something like that.
But the title is just a description of the finale, which is nice.
So common with these kind of movies, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not clever.
But we get a motivational speech before the championship game. As long as we honor God, nothing is impossible. Leave everything on the field and give your best to God tonight. And win or lose, God gets the glory. Sometimes I have a hard time saying words.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Our home team is at a clear disadvantage because the titular Giants have a team that's 3 times bigger, which means that they can bring in fresh players when theirs get tired, while the good guys don't have that luxury.
Yeah, it's
every person is needed for their position at all times.
Well, why is that? Like, it's not like an affording thing. Like, they could have more people on their team if more kids wanted to join, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I guess no one wants to. Maybe they're smaller anyway, like a school.
Maybe.
Maybe they don't have the equipment. They have been losing for 6 years. Why would you invest in this team?
It's true.
It could be any number of things.
Yeah, but they have like 38 people on their team or something crazy like that.
32. And the Giants have 80. 86 or something.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was thinking the Giants had 30-something and they only had like... I don't know how many people are on the field at once.
You need a football team, it's however many people are on the field, but then there's 2 times that because one is offense and one is defense.
Gotcha.
So however many people are on a side at one time, you have twice that many.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Generally. So yeah, so you need at least 30 or something to fill out an actual team.
80 people on a team.
And they have 80. So anytime someone's like, I'm a little tired, he's like, alright, next guy. Which is obviously a disadvantage in any real team. When I was a kid, I played basketball rec league. And we once had to play a whole game with 4 players against another team that had like 8 or 9.
Right.
So it was the same. It was actually, I've been in this situation.
Oh my god.
Where we all have to play the whole game.
That would not have been good for my asthma.
Because we're not, at 4, you can't even,
you're not even a full team.
You're not even a full team. You need 5. But you can play with 4, you cannot play with 3.
Right.
And at one point, one of our players has 3 fouls. If you get 4, you're out of the game.
Oh my god.
So we were basically at that point 3.
one foul away from not even being allowed to play anymore.
Correct. And forfeiting just on numbers. But I've been here and it was very similar. Just like, I am fucking exhausted.
What position were you?
I was a center because I was a tall kid. But I never liked playing center. I was a forward.
I was a good point guard, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I never grew past 5'3".
Yeah.
But I loved it.
But I had played center a lot when I was a kid. I would prefer to play forward because forwards are better.
I was our free throw shooter because that's the thing I could do. Almost like it was like 99% accuracy.
Nice.
So like if I can't do anything else, I'm going to be really good at this.
Yeah, but this is a situation I've been in, so I get it. And I also do say that Shiloh's the good guys on purpose because in the second half of this championship game, the Giants intentionally injure our kicker, which means that David, the backup kicker, is going to have to fill in the entire rest of the game.
Act surprised with me. What?
What?
David?
We don't even know the other guy's name.
You don't even think you were going to play this game.
So yeah, anytime they need a kicker, it's going to be David now. And the game is ultimately decided by 2 things. You'll be surprised to learn it involves the 3 named characters in the movie. The coach.
Right.
Brock, from the inspirational scene earlier where he was...
The leader.
The leader. And David. First things first. Brock is... reflecting that earlier scene because he tells the coach that he's tired, he can't go anymore.
Right.
And the coach says, all I need from you is 4 more plays.
Yeah.
4 more downs. Can you give me that? And Brock's like, fine.
Yeah.
But it is in those 4 plays that he manages to turn the whole game around by causing the other team to fumble so that the good guys can get to the 34-yard line, which with 2 seconds on the clock left. Last play of the game, they have 34 yards to go, which is a pretty hard sell.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows football at all will tell you, like 30 yards in 2 seconds, like you have 1 shot at this.
Anything in 2 seconds.
Yeah, you cannot necessarily pull that off. And it's they're not tied, they're down by 2, so they can't afford to go into overtime and just hope they can push through, right?
Right. So,
what the coach decides is to get David to kick a field goal, which will not be a 34-yard because field goals start higher back there. So it's a 51-yard field goal.
Right, and that's nowhere near what he's been shown as capable of.
The most he's done, I think he says, is 31.
Yeah, something like that. So it's significant.
And I looked it up just to be sure. It is significant in the NFL to kick a 50-yarder.
Right.
Like, if you can do that reliably,
right,
you're one of the best kickers.
And the wind's against him, Josh.
And the wind is against him. So it's really bad. The record for the biggest field goal in the NFL is 64.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it's a lot. But David's going to have to figure it out. Because it may be nearly impossible, but coach has got to do it because it's the only move they have, really.
Right, right.
Now, David is inspired by his dad, who does, in fact, stand up, and he holds his arms up like you would for a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, he's resting his whole body against the fence, so don't think this guy just learned how to walk. It's not that kind of a miracle. He gets himself out of his wheelchair, props himself up against the fence, and then puts his little field goal arms up, and it's pretty cute if he wasn't so creepy.
Right. And this is the part I was saying earlier. Would have been more effective had they not shown him trying to stand earlier.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Had they just, like, done this the first time, you'd be like, oh shit, Dad is into this.
His legs don't work and he's standing.
And he's still making himself up. It's actually kind of funny because one of the guys sees him trying to stand and he's like, hey, can I help you?
Right.
He's like, nope, I'm just inspiring my son.
I'm standing for my boy.
Which is, it's cute, but it's also, like, obviously strange.
Yeah, I would have stuck around him like, you need a spotter.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm gonna I'll be right here.
Just in case.
But he sees his dad standing for him and holding his arms up, and David prays for help from God. And very suddenly, we see the American flag blowing one direction, and then the wind blows the other. Because all of a sudden, the wind comes in, and it's very favorable for David. And so, the coach, obviously, right now, says, kick the ball! Yeah. Right now! Kick the ball!
The coach sees the flag change directions. He's like, oh, God!
Kick it! Right now! David throws the kick. He falls on his ass. He kicks it so hard.
Yeah, he pulled. It was like a Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown kicks. But defying all odds, he does make the kick and he wins the game. And through God, all things are possible, or whatever. Everybody freaks the fuck out. Which, to be fair, if you were into football, this would be quite the sight.
I'm not, and I would have had a blast.
Absolutely.
Like I would have lost my damn mind.
I don't like sports as a rule. Yeah. But I can understand them.
Yeah.
And was I there for this game?
You can get caught up in those things. Yeah. It's fun.
If I was there for that game, I would have freaked the hell out.
I would have been jumping up and down.
I would have just burned the stadium down. Nothing better is going to happen here.
Destroy everything.
You have to destroy it. This is the ultimate. But then we finally get a final speech about how nothing is impossible without God, a big prayer. Coach is finally told by his wife that she's pregnant. I guess she was keeping it from him to not distract him from his big championship game.
Yeah.
It's been like a day, so it's not like she
hasn't been
hold on
this
to
for
it.
a week.
But she just didn't want to distract him, I guess.
Right, well, he's got a lot going on.
He cries very happy tears, as does she. They're very excited. And 2 years later...
He doesn't think to ask whether he's the father. That was a twist. They're like, uh-oh.
I think Jesus
we know he
fucked this guy's
doesn't
wife.
have any sperm.
Well,
and she's pregnant.
Well, to be fair, she does bring it back around and says, like he did in the locker room, tell me what's impossible with God on your side.
I know.
Tell me what's impossible with God on your side.
Yeah.
And she says it to him, so, they kind of account for that.
No, it's super cute.
Right.
But I would still question it.
The script does kind of account for it with that.
Right, but also they weren't like, you have a pretty low sperm count,
yeah.
It's gonna be an unlikely.
Yeah, he just
it was like
said,
literally
you
like, you don't have a single sperm in your whole body.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You're pushing out dust.
You haven't noticed? You're literally shooting dust and you haven't noticed? You guys are too orthodox. You gotta try some new stuff you would have noticed.
That's like baby powder, ironically.
Or they just don't know.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know.
If this is their only sexual experiences are with each other, she's just like, it's normal, right? Yeah. Don't all guys shoot dust?
It's true.
But anyway, we cut to 2 years later. They have a baby, and they have won a second state title that we see on the mantle of his house.
Yeah.
And the movie's over. Woo!
Yep. Yeah. We did it.
It was...
it was good.
It was good. It was too long.
Movie.
I think it was a little longer than it needed
to be. It was too long.
Because it was almost... It's like an hour 50. And
even though I was enjoying it at several parts, I still was stopping to check to see how much longer I had.
Right. And so it's a little long. It's a little boring. It's paint by numbers, like I said.
Yeah.
But overall, this is, I think, easily the most competent, Christian movie we've seen.
I could say shockingly inspirational. I felt good. I felt good after
parts
this
of it,
movie. I was
parts of it were really solid.
Change my perspective. I don't have a good point of view sometimes.
Yeah.
I can be quite negative.
And, The religious message is really stupid, to be honest. Like, God will literally fix everything in your life within a couple of weeks.
It's really unfair. Yeah, let's put that out there.
That's not at all how that works in the real world.
It's like mixing religion with, like, The Secret, like, the laws of attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like magic is not real. But changing your perspective and having a more positive outlook and trying to be a kinder, better person will change your life in a better way. Right. Whether things magically start happening around you like it does in this film, or you just can appreciate smaller things. Mm-hmm. It's all beneficial and helpful. Yeah.
Right. So that's just one thing I want to acknowledge. Like, believing in Jesus is not going to make you suddenly give birth. That's not...
No.
It's unlikely.
It's not going to put sperm in your husband.
Right. But it could... Most of the other stuff that happened could at least be believable.
Yeah.
The just general push yourself until you actually have to stop.
Right.
Will get you better results.
Believe in yourself more.
Yeah. David believing in yourself.
Face your problems head on.
Talk to your dad.
Yeah.
Those are all mostly good messages.
Right.
So it's just one of those things. Just don't actually think that if you believe in Jesus or whatever religion, that your whole life is fixed within... What was it, 8 weeks?
Something like that, yeah.
It's silly.
I was hoping that, like, the stove had fixed itself. And, yeah, like, they did find the cause. They did find the leak. The cause. They found the cause of the smell. It was a dead rat, and that was actually a really cute scene.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. That was a really cute scene, actually, I thought.
Oh, that's right. What's the best and what's the worst?
Best would be, like I said, it actually was an inspirational movie. Mm-hmm. Also, I thought the humor was actually better than any other movie we've seen. The humor seems to be the hardest thing for these kind of movies to pull off. Yeah. And this one actually managed it sometimes.
Yeah. It wasn't based on a racial caricature.
It was not based on a racial caricature.
So that's nice.
That was nice. The bad guy coach looked like a very specific villain from Captain Planet.
Oh, the pig guy.
Yes. Yeah. Hoggish.
Nukem?
No, it's something like an adverb.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say hoggish greedily, maybe, something like that. Whatever. I loved Captain Planet as a kid. So every time they shoot to him, I'm like...
Captain Planet. My best is going to be the competently and engaging football scenes.
Yeah. They made me enjoy football.
That last football game where we actually showed a lot more of the game.
Yeah.
I was like, I can watch this.
Yeah. Huh. Totally.
I liked it. What was the worst?
Worst would be the magical thinking.
Yeah, that's gonna be mine.
Yeah.
Just the magical gospel.
Right.
That's not how it works.
Unrealistic and unfair.
Right. Like you said, a lot of it, the religious message was innocuous and not irritating. That one was just, it's so over the top. Like, you don't have to have your movie solve your dick problems.
Right.
Through Jesus.
Right.
You know, this is...
You should face your problems head on. If this is a problem, then you and your wife should be, like, trying to find an alternative or, like, looking into other things, like, you know.
Or maybe the fact that you got a raise because of your new approach means that you can afford in vitro and then you can still have your own baby.
No, exactly.
Those are options.
Yeah.
But just like, all of a sudden I can have a baby. Like,
change your perspective, change your life, though. That's a real thing. Right.
But we just, the magical gospel thing is the worst part.
Yeah.
But now we have to talk about some things that are like this.
Okay.
Do you have anything?
Yeah, totally. I've already mentioned it. Remember the Titans.
There you go.
I loved that movie as a kid. Mm-hmm. Again, as somebody who doesn't like football.
Yeah.
I watched the shit out of that movie. I love the soundtrack. I love Denzel Washington. Mm-hmm. It's the first time I ever saw Ryan Gosling, so that was a blessing. It's just a really, really great movie that I actually haven't watched in a long time, and this made me want to watch it again.
Yeah, I get that.
So, and I won't even say watch this, not that, because honestly, I think you should watch this maybe if you're interested.
Yeah, if you're interested in these sorts of
this isn't films. One that I would be like, don't bother, this is awful, save yourself, save your life.
Yeah, it was not...
This is not a terrible movie
unpleasant.
To watch. What about you?
Mine is... I don't do football movies, and I don't really do Thanksgiving either.
Yeah, I don't
Thanksgiving is the shittiest holiday. It
is the shittiest holiday. The only saving grace for Thanksgiving is the Macy's Day Parade, which is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I am going to go with a football movie, though, that I do like.
Oh.
Brian's Song.
Oh, I haven't seen that since 7th grade.
Me neither.
They made us watch it in school when they didn't have anything else to teach us. And it made me cry in class.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good movie. It's got a kind of religious message in it.
Yeah,
especially
it's
at the end.
Thanksgiving-y.
It's Thanksgiving-y. It's football-y.
Yeah.
It's fun. And like you said, it's not, don't watch this other thing. It's just, let's also add to the decent football movie thing, even if you're not a fan of football movies.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Everyone should see Brian Song, honestly.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a classic. And it's based on a true story, just like Remember the Titans.
That's right.
Yeah. Based on a true story gets more points from me.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about what we're doing next week. I'm handing it to you right now.
I'm looking at it right now. It is something called Touched by an Angel, and there's Thanksgiving specials. Are you kidding me?
Nope.
This makes me so happy. I will want to watch this, Josh.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I love when you give me these little gifts.
They are called An Unexpected Snow and Heaven's Portal.
This is making me tickly in my tummy.
Mm-hmm.
I love holiday specials. I love them. I love the holidays, Josh. You're about to watch me get stupid. Giddy.
We're gonna get into the holiday spirit with a couple of literal angels on Earth. Heaven's Portal, by the way, is from one of the latest seasons.
Uh-huh.
So it should be fun to see what's different between the first Thanksgiving special from the first season versus the later one in, I think, the 7th or 8th.
Love it. So this would be like the first one would be 90. When did we decide the first season was?
I think it was 94.
Okay, yeah, that felt about right.
Yeah. And then like the early 2000s.
That's going to be wildly different.
One thing I do know is different is that Valerie Bertinelli joined the cast.
I love that Valerie Bertinelli. Wasn't there a girl who looked like her in one of the first episodes? I think I remember pointing that out.
Yes, like the first mom looked exactly like her.
Yeah. Wonder if that's what inspired it. I look forward to seeing how Roma Downey's hair changes between the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah. So that's at least one thing that we can look forward to. And I'm curious, like, how flanderized people get, or how just, like, cut down to their core characters people get. Because, as shows tend to go, people tend to become more caricatures of themselves.
Yeah. Or maybe they got better, more fleshed out. Yeah.
Exactly. So it'll be fun to compare this.
I'm very excited about this,
because we're going to see 2 in a row. One's from the very first season, one's from the later ones. So. Stoked.
I don't have any Thanksgiving-style outfits. I have my Halloween outfits, and I have Christmas outfits.
Yeah. Well, it's because Thanksgiving is the worst holiday. Why would you want to indulge in it with clothing?
Well, I just like to
Ooh, you just need loose pants, so perfect.
I always wear my stretch pants. I don't even like Thanksgiving food, really.
Me neither, not really.
Yeah.
Some of it's fine. I like pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
That's my favorite pie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Key lime pie is my favorite.
That's a good choice.
Thank you.
Someone told me cherry. He was like, fuck you.
Cherries can die.
I was like, get the fuck out of here.
I feel like an entire generation was ruined for cherries because of Dimetap. Or even, like a lot of children's medicines are cherry flavored, and even though they don't taste like actual cherries, there's still like, you taste a cherry, you put a cherry in your mouth, you're like, yep, that's sickness. That's childhood sickness.
I just only like cherries that haven't been baked. Like, I like cherries.
Yeah.
But if you bake a cherry, it's like congealing.
That was the second thing I was going to say. I have a weird thing about hot fruit.
I don't mind hot fruit. I love hot fruit.
Compotes. I'm not super into it.
Yeah,
so
I get
most
that.
fruit pies I don't enjoy.
Yeah, I get that. But I don't mind hot fruit. I just don't like baked cherries. Cold or hot or however they are.
Yeah.
They get like congealed and they're like gooey and they're chewy.
No, I'm throwing up in my mouth thinking about
cherries
it right now.
weird. But like fresh cherries, love them.
Yeah, my mom likes fresh cherry. I don't know. It reminds me of medicine. They just remind me of medicine.
Like in a milkshake?
Yeah. I'm grateful that grape flavoring is so far away from actual grapes that they weren't ruined.
You'll never confuse them.
Right. That's purple. That tastes like purple. And purple's my favorite candy color.
I have some on my counter right now.
Purple candies?
Yeah.
What kind?
Haichu.
The fuck is a Haichu?
I don't know. Let's find out.
All right.
And remember, if you like the show, please give us some of those 5-star reviews in whatever podcast app or service you are using, and tell your friends about us any way that you can, because we need you to do that.
Yeah.
We need your attention. We need your affection.
We need you. We want you. We love you.
Links to everything are in the description of this episode. You can also go to the website and send us a comment or a question so that we can do a mailbag segment.
Totally.
And as always, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
And bye.
Bye.